I believe every day's a good day when you
Hello, everybody. How are you guys doing today? I hope you're all having a wonderful day. John Lockridge is saying help. What's up, John Lockridge? If you're in any immediate danger, please call 911 if it's an emergency. But welcome in, guys. My draw Wandering Pick. Thank you for the sub, Wandering Pick. I appreciate it. 9 months is awesome. I really appreciate you. Zan Dundersnuff, what's going on? GW's assaulting my wallet. Oh yeah, those Marauders. Oh man. You know, more than the Marauders, but also those Marauder minis are definitely a big contributing factor. First of all, they actually, we're gonna get the camera on here. Sorry guys, I'll just finish something up. What's up, Estrella? They're actually good-looking Viking minis, which is weird for GW. For some reason, they cannot hit like Viking heads, but they did. So they proved to us that it's possible. But yeah, the other thing about that announcement is the Path to Glory campaign. Now, this Path to Glory campaign looks different than the original White Dwarf Path to Glory campaign that came out 20 years ago or so, but it might be similar enough that I would be very interested. You're talking about the Crux Terminatus box. Oh, okay, yeah, just a crap load of Terminators. That's solid. What's going on? Doc Rose, how you doing? How are you doing? I've had a busy morning, and I'm tired, but we're not nearly as tired as some of you guys, so no place to complain. I will say, Dunkin' Donuts is so inconsistent with their naming of things that it's getting on my nerves. I'm learning it though. I've gotten my free coffee every day, and I'm learning their naming conventions. But you say the same thing to two different people, you get two different things. Anyway, TBD is not a replacement for an actual medical device. In the event of a real medical emergency, please contact emergency services. In the event of a real miniature emergency, please contact Games Workshop directly. Exactly. Yes, Harlequins did get a combat patrol. Yeah. So, excuse me, they're treating Combat Patrol like Spearhead, like its own game, right? So in that event, you know, getting Harlequins their own Combat Patrol makes sense if it's its own like self-contained game. That's kind of the idea. Dude, my sub, now I leave to go play MTG. Alright, have a good one, Wandering Picked. I'll see you later. Enjoy your games. Good luck. Excuse me. So, Doc Rose wants to go to watch more Thousand Suns videos. Yeah, once more you get a notification. Maybe if you turn notifications on for the videos, you can watch them when they pop up. But also, it just seems like I'm just reminding you to watch my videos. Also, I do stream at the same time every day and every week. So, it's not like I'm unpredictably jumping on to stream. Alright, it's fine. I enjoy having your company here, Doc Rose. I did film another video this morning, so we got the next in the series coming. And it should be this afternoon for Patreon and tomorrow for everybody else on YouTube. Comp Patrol's limited. Yeah, all those patrols are coming out with their unlimited. Yeah, they're just FOMO and old sets. That's what they're doing. That's too bad. What's going on, Velios? Yeah, Terminator box, Marnie Kato, 2 Victrix, $500. Yeah, that sounds about right. One of these days, I'm gonna get those Victrix guard because they look really good. So hopefully 11th is good, and I'm happy to, or it's good, you know, it's enjoyable for me, and I jump back in, and I'll grab some Victrix and paint them up. Have a good one, Pick. You want to play some MTG? Yeah, you do. Yeah, Harlequin's got a Combat Patrol. I think it pre-ordered Saturday, right? That was its actual pre-order day. So then, one second, guys. 1 second. Okay. The new Krieg book looks interesting. Yeah, yeah, they got some new novels, didn't they? Lots of new guard novels. That's cool. That's cool. Combat Patrol 170 on the website. Yeah, same price as all the Combat Patrols. Picture's gonna be super awesome. You can build them as Blade Guard using Storm Shields from Blade Guard vets. Oh, that'd be cool. Yeah, it's like bits fodder for Blade Guard veterans. Although it's funny because I feel like Blade Guard veterans minis are made to be Ultramarines anyway, but. Killer Streak, welcome in. Welcome in. Man, I feel like this day has already been super long. So hope you guys all had a great weekend. Stream was very chill last night, it was nice. Just doing a edge highlight on this to finish out this pink. It's okay on the shoulders. I don't know if I'm super happy with it on the shoulders, but two. Go to the LGS for me. Oh, that's right. Yeah. So, I don't know if you guys saw this morning, but new minis announced. And weirdly enough, it's not Space Marines. I know, crazy. But it is Old World Chaos Marauder minis. Which is funny, but awesome. I think Chaos have been really popular with the Old World as a faction. But it's pretty crazy because the Marauders that they're replacing, the old school Marauder kit, is, oh man, 20, maybe 23 years old or so. It's an old kit. And it's like, you know, the basis of how we see a lot of Chaos minis. It's pretty crazy how like classic that kit is. But I think it goes to show how popular the Old World is, where kits like that are getting updated. It's not just like a throwaway line, you know, with books and old minis. It seems like the investment is paying off for GW, which we were talking about a lot last night of, you know, yay, GW notices us, but also, oh no, GW notices us kind of thing. But yeah, the Chaos Marauders look awesome. The new journal looks really good, and they have a campaign system in it called Path to Glory. And I don't know if you guys remember, it was 6-7 years ago, GW did a Path to Glory campaign system, which was lame. But about 15 or more years ago, say between 15 and 20 years ago, they had a campaign system that they put the rules out through White Dwarf, and I still have those issues of White Dwarf. But it was Path to Glory, and you started off with anywhere between like 10 and 20 minis, and you had a hero, and your whole hero was objective was to achieve demonhood, to ascend to a demon prince. And so you'd follow specific like chaos paths, and you would, you know, level up your character as you fought other chaos warbands and stuff. And we almost had a group that started it when I was a teenager at the time. It was something we were really wanting to do but never got off the ground. But man, it's so cool. It's very much, you know, Middle Earth Battle Company's Mordheim type deal. Harlequin's Starweaver is a single box per kit. Current Amazon price, you basically have Solitaire free. It's about $30. Okay, yeah, so it's not a really big discount. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, and it's funny they put the Solitaire in there because I'm pretty sure you can only ever have one Solitaire in your army. So they stuck with the whole let's put a unique character in the box so there's no value in buying two of them. They kept that rolling, which is pretty funny. I try to sell this Solitaire to recoup. Yeah, because that's, but you know, that won't work out as well. They're trying to make, you know, FOMO bat boxes out of non-FOMO products, right? We know when the new Assault Terminators are dropping. The big box comes out. I have it on my Discord, the actual release date. There's a pinned comment. I believe it's like November 8th is the release date for the box, the big box. They did not say that the individual Terminator sets are coming out then. So those are probably coming out at a later date. But the big box is coming out November 8th. Yeah, I made a post. It's a pinned post in the gaming news and rumors section in my Discord channel, and it's a post that's basically outlines everything Games Workshop has announced, and then when it gets a release date, when the release date is. So it's like announced but not previewed kind of stuff is the general tracker. Spitfire Minis, thank you, man, for this sub. 32 months in a row. That's wild. That's wild. The 8th is shipping. The 8th is the actual release. It goes on pre-order this Saturday. The big box. Yeah. Yeah. It specifically says if you go check out the post, if you go to gaming news and rumors, you go to the pinned messages, it's the one pinned message, and I have everything tracked. So releasing November 8th is the Terminator Battle Force, Ultramarines Upgrade Sprue, Ultramarines Combat Patrol, and the Ultramarines Dice, also the Drukhari Archon. Those are all releasing November 8th. Be something else? Oh, and the Red Gobbo. So, there are some stuff that I've already released on this list, like some of the Underworld stuff is all the 18th, and the Old World things. But I'm going to remove those later in the week, just in case, because people, you know, some people ask later when they come out. Looks like the Imperialis Combat Patrol's released too on the 18th. So yeah, there's things there. I think it'll be announced the week after the box drops. Yeah, I'd give it, I don't know. The normal thing with those big boxes like 4 or 5 weeks. So I think that's a reasonable guess. So you're talking about like rattle can spray varnishes, right? Spitfire. I do use those. I don't use those on minis. I use them on terrain, and that's about it. Yeah, I've noticed the occasional issue of like cloudiness happening with spray paint varnishes, and I don't like to risk that. On terrain, it's fine. A little bit of cloudiness on the terrain that I paint is totally cool, but yeah, I've never had the cracking surface, but the cloudiness is a big thing. Sometimes with the cloudiness, you can kind of mitigate it a little bit. I know, like taking a soft bristled toothbrush will kind of help get rid of some of the cloudiness. Uh, yeah, you're gonna have to kind of work on it. Yeah, I bet. Yeah, yeah. I varnish through an airbrush 99% of the time. Because pushing varnish through an airbrush, you don't get that potential for a problem. Yeah, it's actually that or no, it was just spray painting, just spray priming minis, because it happens when you spray prime minis too. Um, that was the reason I got an airbrush, was because issues like that popped up when I was trying to paint minis really nice, and then they end up all chalky looking and everything. I did not like that. Iron Warriors using Color Forge Silver as a primer. The paint doesn't bind to the metallic primers. You have to varnish it. Yeah, so Spitfire, metallic primer does that a lot. A lot of metallic primer has a weirdly hydrophobic finish. So Games Workshop Lead Belcher is the same way. It's really annoying, but yeah, you got to varnish it to give it a way to a way for the paint to adhere. I understand that all too well.
It's cold. Now that's what I call high quality A2O.
Hey, all right, Killer Streak, absolutely. Take a drink and stretch here. Can varnish, but I only do it on a perfect. Yeah, see, I try to time it and make sure everything was good, and I would still occasionally get the cloudiness, and I just said, nah, not anymore. All right, let me get a good stretch here. Oh man. My body is sore. That. Let's get this backpack. Use the rest of my Rattlecam primer on my terrain. Yeah. That's how I am with Rattlecans. I did prime a bunch of stuff, a bunch of terrain. On Saturday we had a nice day to do it, so I did a bunch of that. Hopefully I'll be painting that terrain soon. Outdoor priming season's almost over. Now you can prime when it's cold. It doesn't mess with your primers at all. Just wear a coat. Live in Houston. Yeah, oh, that stinks, Spitfire. Yeah. And there you go, priming the garage. Yeah. You got a garage. Okay. Yeah, Prime. Oh no. If colors mess up. Okay. Alright. Well, that's fair. Oh, man. Caps lock. Oh no. Stop yelling at me, Starlet. Go satin varnish tomorrow. Matte varnish meets the colors too much. That's fair, yeah. I really like the look of a matte finish on a mini, but I understand if people don't. I also like the look of a satin varnish, but that's more of on a specific mini for me. It's kind of what I appreciate with that. Turn on Grant and the Necron minis. Okay. What do we highlight next? Do we want to do the skin next? I think we do the skin because we don't want to get to the metallics until after we have the skin done because of all the little studded areas in the skin. Small angle so the maze can stand on. Okay. Oh, that's sweet. All right. Yeah, it is gonna be huge, isn't it, Zen? Yeah. I didn't check out any comparisons with like in the slicer with it or like stuff of my own, but I was you know, looking at in the slicer and everything, and like the photos the guy had of the finished product, and I was thinking like center of the board or like one side of the board, and you can just drive tanks up the ramps and everything. Yep. Yeah, it's giant. The matte stamper since I switched over to PA. Yeah, I agree with you, Estrello. Yeah, the matte finish from the PA paints. Good stuff. God, such a cool sculpt. You know, I'm not the biggest fan. I know people like people really like those minis every year. They put out the Red Gobbler, they put out like the Christmas themed minis. It's just not something I particularly care for. But that's really cool. Seems like people are really looking forward to it. Really like it. A nice hint at the Vostroyan. What if they came out with plastic Vostroyans, guys? How would you, how would you guys feel about that? Christmas tree ornaments? That's cool. That's a cool idea. The last part of my Votan competition project. Very nice. Should I make like an army showcase channel in the Discord, or is that just finished projects? I don't know. Make an army one? Okay. It's not like it costs money to, you know, make a new channel, but I'll make an army showcase channel. I think it'd be cool. Okay. You ever get bored of painting bolters? Absolutely. Do I get bored of painting Space Marines in general? Not as much. Painting like bolter casings though is specifically is something that grinds me down. Something you use, photograph armies, yeah. Yeah, black is always good, but yeah. 22-inch by 18-inch rectangle when it's done? That's solid. Alright. How's it a rectangle? The stairs are identical, and they fit together. Oh, wait, are you just talking about just the one stair? The one stair piece? Or the whole thing? The stairs are 8 by 6. Okay. Because there'll be 4 of them. And then it's the width, so it's 8, 8, and 6. No, it's 8 wide. It's 6, 6, and 8. It's 12. That's 20 inches. It should be 20 inches by 20 inches, right? The center is only 6 by 6, so then it should be 18 by 18 inches. Hey, Alex Jensen, what's going on? Because there's no gap in between the center, but I know the stairs fit as a like in corners against each other, right? Is my math crazy? It should be a square. It shouldn't be a rectangle. That's too much. Why will it be a rectangle? I don't get how it'll be a rectangle. If there's four identical pieces fitting together, all at a central point, won't it be a square? My brain can't wrap. I'm really tired right now, so maybe like I didn't sleep well last night, so. Yeah, Zen, I think you're adding the sides instead of just the front. Be 22 by 22. Because it'll be... There should be 8-inch middle. Oh, man. How much experience? Yeah. Oh, man. What a pun. What a pun. Yeah, you definitely need a lot more space if you're gonna photograph like a whole army. It's a different thing, but you don't have to worry as much about like individual quality, right, for the photo. I mean, 22 by 22, that's not terrible. That's not terrible. That's a big piece of terrain, but that's cool. I plan on putting like palm trees on it and stuff, and then the middle piece, you printed that fountains in, but there's also a central plate, so if I want it to be like drivable, I can just put that center plate in place of the fountain piece, and then I have like a piece of terrain that people can move over, but you can also hide behind, kind of like hills, right? Creating some elevation. Finished the remaining 40 guardsmen on Friday. He did it by parts. Probably took longer than he expected. He's now done with guardsmen for a while. Nice. And just bought a new Blood Bowl team. You guys are like using your painting to buy. You know what? That's the perfect motivation though. I finished this so I get to paint this. Not much of a Chaos guy. That being said, I love the Dark Angels, so a little Chaos might be there. Dark Angels are traitors. What are you talking about? Working on a knight right now for a buddy of mine. But can't get magnets in, yeah. That's too bad. Ton of finished Dark Angels and a Respawn Genestealer cults. Nice. Nice. I have a shelf full of stuff. My 1,000 Suns take up... I have a 5-layer shelf in my living room. That's all 1,000 Suns and allies. It's actually 2 shelves next to each other that are tied off together. Okay. Something we're gonna do. Get someone display at the LGS. Yeah, I don't have any minis on display in LGS. There's one that does a cool. They do like a Hall of Fame thing, where they have a hallway with all these display cabinets. You can put your name on some minis and put them in there. But I've never put anything in their shelf. I like to look at my minis at home. Okay, we got you. Where's the other Melt-A-Gun dude? That's a plasma gun, dude. That's a plasma gun, dude. Oh. Yeah. More commissions. Yeah, I don't do commissions with locals, though. That's the thing. So like it's not like a business thing for me. I very rarely do commissions for people in the area where I live, mainly because there's a lot of people that do commissions on here and are in this area, and like I don't like stepping on people's toes. But also there are people that do commission work that are like, I remember talking to one guy and he's on disability and he's like, I can't make over this certain dollar amount a month or I lose my disability benefits. So, and he's like, all I do is sit around and paint all day. So the guy will paint armies for people for like a fraction of what I charge. And well, I don't think his work is as good as mine. It's still something where, someone's looking for interest from someone locally and I give them a price and they're like, well, this other guy does it for a quarter of what you do it. And I'm like, I don't know what to tell you, guy. Like, that's what I got. So I don't want to compete with people locally. I stand behind my work and I feel like I charge a fair price, but I'm not getting an extra check every month to not do things, so. One of those IKEA glass cabinets, yeah. Tell me, I'm not going to do that either. So I'm not about like insulting other people's work. So, yeah. As I've said before, one of the reasons that I enjoy what I do so much is because I get to run a business how I feel is right, and I don't think I've compromised on my morals yet, and I don't plan on doing that. So. Doing right by people also includes other people in this business, so. I see people paying commissions locally. I cheer them on. I want people to do well and be able to do something. Yeah, that's fair. I mean, it can definitely be. I think it can be interpreted as insulting, but I don't want to do that. I want to support the hobby. I want to be positive about things, and I can imagine a situation where I give somebody a quote and they're like, well, this person does it for this price, and then I tell them, well, you get what you pay for. And like, yeah, not how I want to do things. How are the New Emperor's Children minis to paint? They've been fun, painful, but also fun because Slaanesh. I would say painful but also fun has been fairly accurate. They're not too bad. No, as far as 40k Chaos Marines go, these are probably some of the simpler minis. So they were easy to assemble. There's a decent amount of variety in the minis. Once you get past the base colors, I feel like they're not like overloaded with trim and weird mutations and stuff. So yeah, I think they're good minis. Good minis to paint. My work speak for itself. Yeah. Yeah, it's funny too, because like the minis I'd want to show off in a local store are like minis that I want to play games with. And I don't want to keep them at that store, because if I go to another store and play a game, then I don't have those minis with me. And, I don't live close enough to a lot of the stores to just like drop on by in a random afternoon on my way somewhere else or something. So I can't don't have like an easy way to get them. I got my LGS all night Friday. A lot of new people. All kind talked me joining Blood Bowl League. Oh, nice. That's cool. Well, good for them. Glad you found a nice group. Got the big old skin leg here. So if we get stuff together, put up our display cases. Yeah, there you go. Those display cases going. $10. You should have like 4. Yeah. This person does it for this. Why do you do it for more? Yeah, they set the prices for theirs. I set the prices for mine. Yeah, that's fair. That's a fair way of saying it. Yeah, there was a short time when people were asking for commissions locally, and I was going after them, and honestly, it was just not worth the effort. Any skin on this guy? No. This guy, yes. 4 people close 11. First off, it's 24/7, yeah. To do this, why don't you use this or that? It's a hobby. Just love you not competing home. Let the fine man do his work and you earn your money elsewhere. Yeah. Yeah, thank you, Alex. Yeah. I'm not here to steal people's business. In a big competition with people. Apparently a very bad capitalist for having my own business. So I'll never make it big. When people send you built models, no. I'd rather either be sent the boxes or pick up the boxes from my local store. I like supporting my local store, and I know a lot of people don't have like a good local store, so if people send me the cash and I'm able to buy it from my store, like that's definitely the most preferable. But otherwise, I prefer to assemble the models. Culture American, those Chaos Marauders are looking amazing. Yeah, I agree. They are solid looking. The new journal has me excited. The new Old World journal, or Arcana journal, Arcana or whatever. Arcane journal. That's what it is. Mixing up games and settings. Yeah, I want to see what the path to glory is like. Little start of a highlight is nice. This guy has skin on his weapon. Still say it's too weird and not useful. That's whatever. So the community at my most frequent LGS has dispersed. They're alone most Sunday. Yeah. Did someone take over? I haven't had a lot of Sundays free, so like I haven't been out there in a while. I know some people started playing Old World, but we schedule ahead. I could probably schedule a game with you some Sunday coming up. Yeah, just Old World, yeah. They look better than the Dark Oath models. They do. They're actually like good-looking Viking models. It's crazy. Crazy that GW could come up with such a thing. Yeah, I've been playing a lot of learning games of Heresy. I would not mind just a straight-up game. That'd be nice. Feel apprehension about starting to build like an out of production kit. Starting Command Squad now. I feel like, well, no, going back. You talking about like the old 40k Command Squad or the newer Command Squad? Because that one's still in production, right? Or do you mean something else? That statement. Cool. Yeah, maybe we'll have to get a game soon. Maybe November 2nd, I think, is a Sunday. My son has a birthday party to go to that day, and it is a drop your kids off kind of birthday party, so might be a good one. Oh, the Mark IV. Okay, I gotcha. Hovering over the new plastic Fellblade. It's nice, yeah. Almost Archangel's colors. There we go. Yeah, yep. Or the door. Yep. I love that Fellblade kit. That was, I think, in my opinion, it's one of the best Heresy kits GW's put out, just from like the ease of use and the sculpt quality and everything. Like it turned out really well. So I was really happy with it. Is it mine? No. Do you have a kid's birthday party? Dude, do you live in Ohio? Is this, do our kids go to school together? One of his best friends' birthday. I hope that, okay. Yeah, I'll confirm with the other half. Make sure it's all good, but we were just talking about that birthday party. Leg here. Yeah, do you mind if I put the felt? No, I won't bring super heavies against you if you don't want me to, but I would also be happy to play a really large battle if you want. If you just want to put a whole bunch of stuff on the field. Because I just want to field everything. Like, one of these days, I'm going to play like a 10,000 point Apocalypse game with my 1,000 Suns, and I'm going to be happy about it. But What I can do also, Evelios, I can try to make sure, with Zendral's help, I'll try to make sure the my Prospero terrain is about done. So I'll bring my own terrain and we can play on some new terrain. I owe Zendral a game on that terrain though first, but we'll make it happen. This guy's like skin half, no skin half. This is really out of focus. Sorry guys, hold on. That spot more in focus when I'm actually painting the mini. Yeah, my son's at the age where it's a birthday party where the parents don't stay, so I'm cool with that. We have Painting Son's birthday party coming up in less than a month as well. Kid's gonna be 9 years old. Crazy. Yeah, oh no, that's fair. No, we'll figure something out. We're gonna have the coolest looking table. I do know the guy that's been like in charge of the old world stuff is kind of like a salty, like I don't want to play 3rd edition heresy. So we just show up with like the coolest looking table and have fun while he's playing, and we'll get him one to try. It did take that dude 2.5 years to try 2nd edition though, so who knows. Really doesn't like changing. They love messing about with people's skin, those fellers. Yeah, Slim Richard, they do. They're big fans. Big fans of other people's skin. I understand the argument of not evolving with the game. It's in the game. It's fine. Yeah, I mean, yeah, people like what they like. I get it. They're usually packed up by noon. These old people, man, they gotta get to their early dinner. That's what it is. I mean, I understand. Like, you know, I'm not a big fan of like 10th edition 40K. I did give it a good try though. I was excited for it, and I think just the more I played it, the less I kind of liked it. But I understand the potential for, you know, like 2nd edition came out just 3 years ago, and I think that sits poorly with a lot of people who get into the Horus Heresy like system. Because a big part of the appeal is it's not like a revolving door of a game like the other main games tend to be, with the constant shifting of rules and points and, you know, what's good and what isn't, and that whole idea with it. And I think when, you know, people see like, oh, new edition's coming out after 3 years and they're changing a bunch of stuff and things are invalid, like rulebooks aren't valid anymore and all this stuff, like I think people see the creep into like the 40K. fear, I guess. And for a lot of people, they don't want that. They want the old school Games Workshop slow moving beast of a game where they can collect an army and have that army for years and years and years and use it and it's fine and all those things, and do all their fun conversion and weird hobby modeling things and not be disturbed. Just starting on those highlights. $40,000 way of buying new skins for their armor. Yeah, a little bit. 11th Comet Troll become closer to what Spearhead is now. Probably, yeah. Yeah, 4th and 5th are definitely like my preferred 40k editions, but those are the ones I played the most. I grew up in that era, so I started at the end of 3rd edition when I started in Warhammer, so it definitely has the most like I don't know, nostalgia driven rules for me. I would argue that 4th and 5th are the best editions of 40k, but I think it was around 2nd edition. Yeah, I think 7th edition probably had among the best like core rules, if it was a bit convoluted. But I think what happened with 7th was all just like the power creep, right? Like the stuff that came out in 7th just made the game unenjoyable for the most part. 7th edition's also where characters and their rules started becoming more of like auras. Like, hey, if you're within 6 inches of this model, you get to reroll this. If you're within 6 inches of this model, you get to reroll this. And I remember playing 7th where I was like, I have to have 4 characters in range of this squad at all times to get the bonuses that I want to get. And it became very frustrating of like weird placement that didn't make sense for like a maneuvering army anyway. Yeah, 10th is definitely the best competitive one. Yeah. They have a formula down where they can adjust the game as they need to. I was listening to a podcast and they had an interesting take on balancing 40k and I guess Age of Sigmar. I'm not sure how Age of Sigmar is balanced, but the way they balance the game, it's not actual balance, how they balance Warhammer. It's just changing what's good. And you could say that's like balancing, right? But it's it's like, oh, this unit's too good, let's make it bad, or like let's make it less good. And that style of balancing is like it's easy, but it's not like it's very rare they truly like balance the game. I'm probably not explaining it very well. Alex, hey people, a little like if you like. Are you asking people to like my stream for me? Thanks, man. Thanks. So I do have a YouTube video that's going to be coming out tomorrow, and it's continuing my series. I'm going to talk about Legion Inductii. So I'm excited. I actually tried to incorporate some math into this one. So it's a little bit of like napkin math, but I'm not a mathematician. Yeah, not math. Yeah. That's exactly what they do. Lazy balancing. Yeah, because I don't know. I think we all see that with 40k balancing, where it's like, okay, cool, they change the points, and sometimes there are units with egregious rules where they knock their rules down or whatever. But to me, it never feels like they go through the books and they're like, hey, this is too strong for this army. So why don't we put it on level with some of these other things, and why don't we bring up these other things? It just seems like they always take the most egregious examples either way, and they kind of like smush them both, like, you know, change the points a bit. And it's definitely whack-a-mole. Yeah, not holistic changes on how the game works either. Yeah, 10th Crusade is fine in small games. Large drop in, drop out it gets badly competitive. Yeah. Against for 2 years at the 4 LGS Crusades. Yeah. Oh, you couldn't convince people. Yeah. I mean, seen that attitude firsthand, Evelios. People wanting to take stuff super competitive in a non-competitive environment. Players, you say you play Warhammer for fun, yet you play competitive. Curious. Yeah. Sapped Enthusiasm for AOS. I had a great list. I was really starting to learn how to play, and they balanced. Now I'm 20 points over. Yeah. Yeah, that's rough. And like, it's fun. It's fun when you have like units you like that haven't seen the table, right? And they drop in points, and you're like, oh, cool, I got those things. But man, is it annoying when you make a list, you start painting up that list, and before you can play it in more than like 2 games, the list gets, you know, quote unquote balanced, and then your list doesn't work anymore. Oh, that's so frustrating. The pace of the game is way too fast. Why can't GW just like balance the game from the start? Then they wouldn't have to do this, right? Right? Another big leg, but otherwise we're close to being done with all this skin. Just this first highlight, though. Did I paint this? Yeah, I painted this guy's head, right? Did I get his head? No, I didn't. I did not. I thought I missed something. Or I have a list and now I need more models because they made all the points cheaper. Yeah. That sounds like AdMech 3.0, right? All your minis are plastic, so now they make them all cheaper. Why can't Games Workshop give all the armies codexes? Yeah. Easy solution. Be broke so you don't have any models. There you go. Yeah. Narsaki have so many. Everybody does, man. The pile of shame is a meme for a reason. All right. I gotta talk about this. This is another Painting Dad gripe here. And Evelios, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about because it was in this Discord that we're both in. But a gentleman that runs a gaming group for Heresy at a store, not super close to me, but within a reasonable drive, and they seem like they have a pretty good group. And I was in their store Discord. And I ended up leaving because everybody in there was so salty about 3rd edition. I was like, I didn't feel like listening to it anymore. So I just left. Whatever. Well, This gentleman, I guess they're playing third edition. I don't know. Yeah, get ready for the clouds. Yeah, as more old man yelling at clouds moments here. He will occasionally post polls because he wants to run events and stuff at his store, and so he'll post polls and he'll post them over in this Discord for the local store that's close to me that I'm in. And maybe I'm crazy, but they feel slightly condescending to people that disagree with his opinion on how it should be. So, yeah, I met the guy. He's a nice guy. You know, I have no problems with him or whatever. But his latest poll, he was wanting to run an event, and he was asking if players should get extra points, like if we just add in extra points so people can play more Lords of War in their army, because he said, hey, most armies have a Lord of War available now. And for those who aren't familiar, I'm glad I'm not the only one of Elios. So in Heresy, 25% of your army is allowed to be made up of a Lord of War or a Paragon unit. It's like a Primarch. So you're playing a 3,000 point game. That's 750 points. Okay. And he was asking if they should add between 200 and 400 at the end of a list so people can add in bigger Lords of War. And to do like a Lord of War event. And the way, so that was his premise. So it was a yes or no poll. And there was, yes, I like big tanks and mech. And there was no, I'm scared of big tanks and mech. Those were the two responses. And so I asked, I didn't vote for it because I was like, this seems like condescending, the wording of this poll. But I asked, I was like, why do we need to give more points? Like the rules are there. Is it like is there, and what's funny is most Lords of War are 750 or under, or they're like 1,300 points or more. There's hardly any in between. There's like a weird mech tank that's like 850 points, and then there's the Stormbird, which is a giant jet that transports like 50 minis. Those are the only Lords of War that would be covered under this specific thing. And yeah, you know, I asked him, I was like, why do we need to make more points? Why not just say, let's do a 3,500 point event? Why is that like not a thing? But I did not respond to his poll. I thought it was like demeaning, right? I have a lot of these moments. Like, am I crazy or is this ridiculous? And you guys, you know, I hope will call me if I sound crazy on this, but just like, why just make it a 3,500 point event, and then people can take a 900 point. No, because he posts. That's not the first time he's posted. I mean, I'm sure there's an attempt at humor in there, but it's also like, I don't want an extra 300 points for just Lords of War. And I have an actual reasoning, and just saying, "Ooh, I'm scared. I'm scared of big tanks." Like, that's, I don't know. I think that's an inappropriate way to speak to adults. Yeah, that's a Discord server poll, I guess. Yeah. Do a poll about points total. Yeah. Just say yes or no. Do you want to do a 3,500 point event? Yes or no? Do you want people to have extra points for just Lords of War? Yes or no? It's not called TAC. It's just called TACT. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
good day when you paint. I believe. Look at me! Bring a lot of good thoughts to your mind.
Hey, Smiling Beagle rating in. Welcome, everybody. Praise the Omnisci, Anthony Master, Chris Rose Hobbyist. Welcome in, guys. How are you all doing? I am just in my Old Man Yells at Cloud topic for the day. So, forgive me. But yeah, guys, good afternoon. It's actually the afternoon. How was your stream, Smiling Beagle? GW doing Legends, but boy, does it annoy me when they do it, especially when it's an army that's short of options, as is Starlight. You talk about Dark Eldar or Drukhari. We're on a bus from Black Crow. Nice, very nice. I'm doing really good, guys. I am Painting Dad. If you're not familiar with what I do, I just I stream and chill. Chill and paint minis. That's what the thing is. I am very tired today, but I am currently streaming 6 days a week, so you can find me on at various times through the week. Most weekdays, pretty early on, like late morning, early afternoon, depending on where you are in the world. But yeah, we're painting some Emperor's Children, and I'm complaining about people being rude with Discord polls. Apparently, that's my current issue for the day. So I'm aging quick as I stream and just have time to chat about random things. I turn into an old man real quick. The guy with the silkiest smooth voice on Twitch. Yeah, I don't know about that, Chris Rose, but I had a guy come in here one time into my stream, and it was pretty funny. He was talking about like how much of an audiophile he is. Yeah, see, Doc Rose hates me. He'll keep me in line. You don't actually hate me, do I get it. But he was like, man, he's like, your microphone sounds so good. He's like, I'm a huge audiophile. He's like, I'm a big fan. He's like, what mic do you use? He's like, man, I hate it when people just use like the cheap like Blue Snowball and they try to put off as a real microphone and everything. But man, yours is really good. I use a Blue Snowball, guys. That's my mic. I was like, I don't know. I'm just sitting close to my microphone or something. I have it pointed right at my face. It was funny. I have a nasally voice. I don't like the sound of my own voice. I despise it. It's so hard for me to like edit YouTube videos or like figure that out because don't hate just realistic. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Fellow Cloud Ranter, I approve. Yeah, thank you, Avelios. Yeah. Me and Avelios can get a good ranting going on when we hang out, so. But yeah, my whole rant was about a poll someone put on Discord where it's the person does this quite a bit, but they're like an organizer of a group at a local store. I guess a somewhat local store. It's still pretty far from me, but when he creates polls and he puts like the way he words the answers are how he wants people to answer. So in this case, he wants to have an event with more Lords of War in a Horus Heresy tournament. Lords of War are like Titans and Baneblade sized tanks and Primarchs and those kind of things. And he was asking if we should have points set aside, like extra points set aside for just Lords of War minis. But instead of saying, you know, should we have more points set aside for Lords of War minis, yes or no, it was, yes, I love big tanks and mechs, or no, I'm scared of big tanks and mechs. And those were his answers, and I felt like it was very demeaning. Also, the poll was pointless, because they have limits on what you can take, and, like, not everybody owns big tanks and mechs. It's just weird. Loved Godson still thinks I'm silly. Oh, that's good. That's good. Yeah, Smiling Beagle. Thanks for coming to hang out. Yeah, I'm glad your stream went well. If you have an Instagram you want to share, you want to link, we do have a link-friendly chat as long as people don't abuse it, but you can, please, by all means, share some of your work. You don't have to. I understand. I've done a vehicle for about 30 years, yeah. Someone wanting an obvious answer, I vote against it. Yeah, see, I didn't vote in the poll because I don't want to condone that kind of behavior. I did respond to him and was kind of questioning his reasoning with things, but I did not vote in the poll. Post your work, or are you scared of posting your work? Yeah. Are you going to share your work, or is your work not any good? Right? Like, Discord poll 101. Yeah. And I've also heard, like, even then, like, a 3,000 point game of Heresy, which is like your normal game size, Titan rules just don't work in that game size. And it's not about like destroying them, or you know how durable or good they are or bad they are. It's just their movement, because when you move them, everything underneath them moves out of the way, and I think they destroy terrain when they move on it and stuff, and it just changes the whole game enough to where, you know, either people don't know, yeah, Raja, I'm not saying that, Raja, jeez, but yeah, but it's just like, people either don't know how to play against Titans at all, and it's unfun because they're like, wait, you can do what? Or they know, and then it's just a miserable game anyway, because the Titan just moves, and then they just claim a spot on the battlefield, and they just move all your minis out of the way, and it wrecks like the dynamic of the game. With a 4-turn game based on movement, becomes a problem. There once was a man from Ohio. What's up, Blue? How you doing? Blue's chilling on YouTube, guys. Say hi to Blue. He's holding down the fort over there. There we go. All right. Smiling Beagle apparently does good work. They voted yes on the poll. Oh, nice. Yeah, look at these busts. That dog was not painted. I see that. That's an actual dog. Ooh, I like the elf. Loot Studios, 75mm. Yeah, good stuff. Good stuff, Smiling Beagle. Thank you for sharing, guys. Go check it out. Works a slog. That's too bad. Doc Rose just said goodbye to Blue. I'm feeling like this day is just a slog. The weather is, it's like cold out. It rained all day yesterday, which was nice, but now it's just like the aftermath of it. I'm just feeling like extra sinusy and tired. I'm in hibernation mode, guys. Yeah, it's Monday. That's true. You know, normally I really look forward to Mondays. What happens when you stream and paint minis for a living? Mondays are one of my quietest days. Boy, do I like a quiet day. My version is that Aussie guy's version of a poll. Oh, yeah. I think I know what you're talking about, but yeah. Alright. I feel good. I got validation, especially from Avelios, who actually has had seen and was a part of that conversation with that Discord poll. So, put something in Whip, needless to say, it needs a lot of I've got a lot to paint for the 4th. Are you still just like buying minis like crazy? Hey, Kid Look Cam, what's going on, man? Talk about dude with a lot of minis to paint. You guys have your last soccer game tonight? Is that what's going on? Oh, not buying, just okay. All right. I will take a look here in just a second, Blue. Guys, go look at... Crucially posted some stuff in Whips. It's prepping minis. You beat that boss in Hollow Knight, and you're like ready to paint now. It's tonight. If they win, they play in the championship on Wednesday. Is this like a South Park situation? You guys seen that the South Park episode with the Little League Baseball, where the kids just want to lose so they can be done and like enjoy their summer, but the parents are cheering them on, and you're just except like, you know, the kids are excited, and I know you want your kids to win and everything, but like yeah, it's just like, oh, it continues. Oh dang, Blue, all right. He's got a Ballistus Dread, two, those are War Dogs, right? The Chaos version, or are those the Imperial version, Armigers? I don't know the difference. And big Saturnine Dread in the background. Very nice. Anthony, I see your, that's a Pyrovore, right? Man, that bright green is great. The highlights on that green is really, really good looking. Great work, guys. They're the Armigers. Okay, okay. When your kids is over it, yeah, it's fair. Kids want to go back to doing, you know, whatever in their free evenings, so. That's a Biovore. Okay, okay. I just don't know what anything's called anymore. All he wants to do is sit at home and play Pokemon. Yeah, that's fair. That's my son. He just wants to hang out and play Minecraft all day. Like, too bad, kid. You do not know every Tyranid. I know. I feel like at one point I did, but just focus on other things, you know? Oh, I'm going the wrong way. Hold on. You go this way. You. Someone is calling dinner time in my ear, 6:30. All right. Have a good one, Alex. Thanks for coming to hang out. Enjoy your dinner. Maybe I'll see you later. If not, hopefully I'll see you tomorrow. Amazon Web Service outage day. I did hear about that. Yeah, I saw there's a lot of stuff that's out. I wonder if it was malicious or not. It was, yeah. Yay, bring the country to its knees. Oh, DDoS, dang, okay, yeah. Or DDoS? Do you say DDoS or DDoS? I don't know. Also, why is Twitch still up? Twitch seems so fragile. Like, it just seems like this like network would collapse at like any minor thing, but okay, it's both. Okay, cool. I'm not a total idiot. All right. Every model in the range, including Legends. I'll give you a crash course. All right, dude. We'll play a 5th edition Apocalypse or 4th edition Apocalypse game. Just bring all the Tyranids and you can just hammer it home. Mostly it's the new monsters that throw me off. You know, like the Maliceptor and the tentacle one and the big lashy tongue one and the, you know, like I know a Tyrannofex and a Turvagon and a Carnifex, and I know the old Biovores and Pyrovores, but we don't have the gorilla dudes anymore. Now they're all just like crazy monsters. So DDoS? You say DDoS? Okay. Thought I was gonna be down. Yeah. Oh, I would have been napping right now. I mean, I would have been painting these minis, working hard to get them done. I wouldn't be napping. I don't do that, guys. $16,000 points. Yeah. We can make it happen. All right. Data from a DDoS attack, or is it just denial of service? That's a good question. I thought it was just denial, but maybe, I don't know. The movie watching like Hackerman idea of me is like you use the DDoS and then you get in while, I don't know, things are down somehow. But maybe that's probably also not how the internet works. I used to know a lot more how the internet worked when I was studying and worked in this area. It's amazing when you don't use this information, you kind of forget it. You're crazy. Okay, so if stream goes down, just know it's not my fault. All right, it's Amazon. Blame Jeff Bezos, please. You know what, though? This is why we paint minis as a hobby, right? Internet goes down, we can still paint minis. Right? That's what we do. Okay, let's get some brighter flesh colors. Yeah, Crucial's over on YouTube. Yep, Crucial and John Lockridge are over there chatting. You already blame Bezos for most things. Alright. That's why we get along, Dundersnuff. Wake up call. The entire global economy shouldn't be built on one company's web services. That's wild. How is Twitch still going? I think it's because whoever is doing this attack understands that the people on Twitch and using Twitch and streaming on Twitch are the least productive members of society. Those are the people we want to keep going, because all the IT people are watching Twitch streams, so if that goes down, then they'll have to fix it. Is that just projection? Such a debt to the plastic gods you couldn't afford to stop. Yeah. That's how it works. You know, I will say, I buy a lot of minis. You know, I own a lot of minis. I play a lot of these games. I spend a good chunk of change in this hobby. However, one of the things that I'm very proud about with myself and the painting wife and our whole relationship, and we've been together our entire adult life, but we have never been very debt friendly. So even at this moment, our only debt is our mortgage, which is not much because we bought our house at like downturn of the market way back when and everything. So we're very fortunate in that, and we really try to keep it that way. We try to live, below our means and save money and not go too crazy with buying things. So it is a habit that we've always had that's, I think, been very helpful to us. few weeks of hobby building. We'll be putting together more gargoyles. Having 100 gargoyles, that's nuts. That's really cool, though. Okay, a bit brighter skin, avoiding more of the recesses. End up trying to go really pale on the skin hanging on the armor. We'll try to avoid a lot of pinks in the flesh color. Try to make it look more dead as we highlight up. And their actual face skin that some of them have exposed, we will try to stick with some more pinks, and we won't highlight it to be quite as bright. Smiling Beagle, you have a great one. Thank you for the raid. And I really appreciate it. And great work. I look forward to seeing some more stuff on Instagram and be catching a stream sometime, guys. Go follow Smiling Beagle. Show him some love. Show him what a good community we are and we can be. Follows are free, takes 5 seconds. I tell my son that, like, being polite is free. Doesn't cost you anything. So you can be generous with it. So this weekend, my wife and I were talking, like Friday, maybe, before my son got home from school. And Painting Son's he's had a really good couple weeks. Between school and being angry does burn calories, probably. Yeah. Unless you're like the angry type that just sits down and eats like a carton of ice cream when you're angry. Not that I know anybody that does that, but I feel like that would not burn too many calories. That's true, Raja, but I don't tell my son that. So the thing is, when you're acting poorly to people, it costs you in other ways, right? Where being kind is free and everybody benefits. Anyway, don't start getting into exceptions, okay? Just accept it and let's move on. The sad type usually, yeah. He's had a really good couple weeks, and he's been playing soccer, and his soccer season, it's not like a super competitive thing, but he has played his heart out, and he's done really well. We were very proud of him for that. And then at school, the elementary school he goes to is huge. I think they have 10 or 12 third grade classes in his elementary school. And they do like an awards thing. And I think they just started them this year. And this was their first like little award thing where they recognize kids for like, perfect attendance and different things. Well, the specials teachers, so the music teacher, gym teacher, all the different teachers that do that kind of stuff, they each gave out awards to 2 students for their class, the individual classes, and for like good behavior, but also like demonstrating skills and just being a good student in their class overall. Well, my son got the award from his music teacher, so he got like the music award. He was one of 2 kids in the 3rd grade to get that music award, and it's a little extra special because he joined choir, so he's doing choir as a 3rd grader, so he sees his music teacher extra, but also the painting wife, my wife, is an elementary music teacher. So obviously not at the same school. She's not the one that gave my son the award. It's a different school, different district that she teaches in. But so painting wife is extra proud because our son is excelling in his music class and everything. It's elementary music. It's not like it's professional classes or anything. But anyway, really cool. We're very proud of him. I like bragging on him. He's doing a very good job in school. So we decided that we were gonna, we had a weekend of like Saturday we were at home and we had some fun things planned, but it was basically all just, with our family. We were gonna spend the weekend with just the 3 of us. And so we let him choose what we were going to do for dinner on Saturday. Like, all right, there's a couple places he's been talking about. There's a Mexican restaurant near us that he really likes. He might choose that. He likes Red Robin because you get all the fries and he can get a bottomless root beer float. So maybe he'll choose Red Robin. But we're like, you know what? We're gonna let Painting Son choose our dinner for Saturday as like his, as like a thank you and to show our appreciation to him. So we tell him about that Friday. We're like, hey, think about where you want to eat and you get to choose. You choose our dinner place. Immediately, no hesitation at all, kid chooses Hibachi. And immediately I was like, dang it. Hibachi's so expensive compared to these other places. Like this kid just, yeah. So yeah, we went and ate hibachi on a random Saturday night. And I swear it was like every table, they're like, whose birthday is it? And it's someone's birthday. And we're like the only people in there who's not celebrating a birthday going to eat hibachi. Also, this kid got me too. The meal he wanted was swordfish. Okay? Because my son has expensive tastes. He won't eat mashed potatoes. He won't eat macaroni and cheese. But he will eat swordfish at a hibachi place in Ohio. Not even like fresh seafood, right? So he wants swordfish. Well, I'm like, I'm not paying $30 for your meal to eat swordfish. So what we agreed on, and I was like, okay. I was like, well, I mean, and we've had, so I ordered swordfish from this place when we went last year for a birthday thing. But, and I got swordfish and he tried it and he loved it. So I was like, all right. And I didn't want swordfish again. So I was like, that's fine. Like, I'm just going to go real simple. I just want chicken. I just want easy protein. Just give me some chicken. So the agreement we worked out was I'm going to order swordfish because for adult, the kids menu doesn't have swordfish. Surprise, surprise. There's no swordfish on the kids menu. The kids menu has chicken. I was like, I will order swordfish. You order the kids menu chicken and we'll just trade. I'll just give you my swordfish and I'll just take the chicken and eat it. And he probably won't eat all the swordfish. I'll probably have a little bit of extra to eat. Blah, blah, blah. That's our deal. So we go through the whole show thing. Hibachi's not my favorite because I don't like being around people or being noticed by people, but here we are. It was fun. It was a little more low key than it usually is, but he gets his chicken, I get my swordfish. I give him a piece of swordfish, he eats it, and he's like, I think I just want chicken. I was like, God dang it, this kid. He ended up eating all of his chicken. He didn't want any swordfish, so I was stuck eating swordfish. That's what he did to me. Made me eat swordfish. Get out of here, Ant. He did, dude. He faked me out, yeah. My swordfish, my bowfish, and my axefish, yeah. Yeah, he totally trolled me. That's what that kid did. Ridiculous. I wanted that chicken. A little salty about that. I was gonna take it from him, though, you know. Mainly because the whole point of this was for, like, him, you know, to, like, kind of celebrate him and you know, how he's been doing and everything, and then just, no, you said swordfish, you take the swordfish. Oh well, he loved it. He has a good time with it. He was laughing. He liked his food, so it was alright. The most I'll do in Ohio is salmon. Once you have fresh fish on the coast, it's not the same in Columbus. Yeah, yeah. Well, apparently I eat swordfish all the time now, so. We eat probably a lot more salmon than normal people, just because my wife's dietary restriction. She can eat salmon, and I really like to grill salmon because it's really easy to grill and turns out really well. But that ends up being a meal that we eat every couple weeks or so. Like being inland, not having fresh fish. Yeah, I mean, the people ship fish overnight. You're just not getting it, you know, that morning fresh fish. We got corn. That's what we got in Ohio. You like corn? Corn and other various drugs not made of corn. Probably could be made of corn in some way, but... Pit rivers in a lake. We have a couple lakes. Excuse me. I would not eat the fish out of those lakes, though. Only on the cob and smothered in butter, blended into bread. Yeah. Chico roll. What's up, Troy? People from Ohio are 20% corn. Yeah, I can vouch for that. Best way to eat corn on the cob is grilled. You can grill corn on the cob and it's really good. Is the fish fresh? It only came in 2 days ago. It was just unfrozen this morning. Yeah. I used to work at a parcel service. Very large brown colored parcel service. And the higher end restaurants here would get fish shipped in overnight. It'd all be packed in ice. I would not trust those packages. I don't know. The box is always reeked. That doesn't necessarily mean the fish was bad, because, you know, it could have been whatever going on the outside of those boxes, but nah. Put in tin foil with mayo, butter, salt, chili powder. Elote? Yeah, elote's really good. Yeah, it's true. Corn is let soak for a little bit till it bubbles. Run through it a still. What is that? And then liquid soak an oak barrel for 3. Oh, okay. Oh, run it through a still. Yeah. Okay. Picking up what you're putting down. Best way to eat corn is to reduce it down into a syrup, then add it into every single thing that we eat. No exceptions. These meetings are taking longer than I expected, but I am really enjoying these. I think tonight on my own, I'm going to start assembling the Noise Marines. And the Noise Marines are bigger, but there's only 12 of them instead of 20 models, so we can work through those a little faster. But we'll do the same process on those minis as I'm doing here. Couldn't bring myself to paint 32 minis in a single batch. Send me frozen, unclean salmon straight from the salmon cages off the coast. Oh, that's wild, Grey Mouser. That's wild. All right. Online Florida school system is down too. Yeah, it probably is tied to Amazon. It all started at Dundersnuff's work a week ago. People were messing around. Everybody's computer started being shut down. Wait, my power just went out? It's not walking. Oh, weird. What is going on? I'm going to log in from 9 to 2:30. Yeah, we had that like weird thing going on at your work. Anyway, you know you're blessed when you can take a fresh Atlantic salmon on a soaked board and glaze with the purest maple syrup. That's true. That's spoken like a real Canadian. I am gonna try to make maple syrup this year. I have 2 sugar maple trees in my yard that have I never knew it. I knew they were maple trees, but for some reason, hearing that they're sugar maples, like white maples, it's in my head now that I need to make syrup. So I'm waiting for the temperatures to get. I need to order some items, like food grade buckets and some different things. But I'm gonna try to make maple syrup. If I only had 1 tree, I would not be as interested. But the fact that I have 2 like very large sugar maple trees gets me all excited. Yeah, I get some taps and everything. Yeah, they sell kits on Amazon. I'm not buying stuff from Amazon, but they do sell kits that are very expensive. But I can also get food grade buckets from like Lowe's. And I already have a drill bit. I just need the taps and like the tubes to attach to them. And I'll be good. But yeah. It is a 40-to-1 ratio of the amount of like maple water that you pull from the tree to what it reduces down into syrup. So that's gonna be real fun. But yeah, I'll keep you guys updated if I start doing that and how it works out and everything. Okay, so we got that color. Let's go brighter here. I'm gonna take a little bit of this ivory and I'm gonna mix it in with this pale pink. It is warm flesh. I was using warm flesh mixed with tan flesh. Now I'm going to do a little bit of ivory. Full buckets get you enough service for serve for one breakfast. Pretty much, yeah. Yeah, that's basically how it works. On the other end of the scale, beefsteak is too pricey here. Dude, it's too pricey here. Beef prices have skyrocketed. Turner signs going off just a bit ago. Sure, it was just a test. Nobody related to sudden apocalypse caused by Dark Lord Voldemort's web services. Yeah, we're done for. It's not Wednesday. It's not Wednesday at noon. No one's testing tornado sirens. Oh, 3.5 pounds for $25. It's wild. Isn't like cattle farming like for beef? That's like a huge thing in Florida too, right? You'd think it'd be quite as pricey. I mean, everything's kind of expensive in Florida, so. Yeah, we get a lot from South America. Yeah, that's going over well. Okay, nice pale skin on. This guy's wearing a mask. This guy's got an N95 made of skin. It's pretty cool of him. Beef and Florida Man headlines are our main ore exports. Thought it was red algae. That's the new hotness. But yeah, it's. Wife and I went to local Orchards Festival on Saturday. She casually mentioned that in the apocalypse we need to either ally with them or murder them for the orchard. Should I be concerned? No, your wife's a planner. So she's got that type A personality. You know, making sure she has a plan for everything. Now, at this rate, I'm going to end up becoming like what do you call those people? Like self-sustaining, whatever people. Like I just want to start growing all my own food and everything. Like homesteader, is that what it is? The homestead people? That's what you call them, right? She went to casually killing her neighbors very quickly. Yeah. You know, maybe some deep-seated things, but you can't address that when there's apocalypse on the menu. Yeah, homesteaders, yeah. Messy chickens. Yeah, chickens are efficient. Yeah, my parents raised chickens. And they mainly just have hens for eggs, but they've been talking about getting meat chickens. So there's a certain breed of chicken that you get that are really good for their meat. And they literally they get so fat they can't walk, which is horrible. But probably delicious. So people doing crazy stuff. Florida has laws. Yeah, you know Ohio has that same law, like where like everybody's like people commit a crime, it's like all public and everything. Florida has just got the memes, right? Yeah, what's terrifying, it really is a terrifying thought that the reason you hear about Florida is because the way like reporting crimes happens in Florida is how public it is. And all this stuff happens everywhere else too. It's just that not all that stuff is public. Family's wild. Grandma planted a big row of pine trees despite the neighbors who wouldn't sell their property to her. Oh, jeez. The egg white chickens we had were 99% egg every day once they got going. Yeah. It's a good deal. My wife is allergic to eating chicken and eggs, so we'd need to raise like rabbits or something if we're gonna raise like a meat animal. But no, I'm not doing that. In my random residential neighborhood, just start slaughtering rabbits in front of the neighbor kids. I don't know about duck. I don't think she's allergic to duck as far as we know. I know the tests that she's taken multiple tests for this, but the tests that she's taken so that they won't like trigger off of something that either she's never eaten or hasn't eaten in a very long time. And I can't think of the last time my wife ate duck. But yeah, I guess, ducks might be a thing. She can eat turkey. So, can you raise turkeys? Mr. Fluffykins, no, yeah. Residential can only have 2 chickens, yeah. Yeah, she probably can't eat duck, yeah. That's fair, yeah. Sound expensive. Yeah, I know, like, duck is fancy, dude. I mentioned this in the Discord, but if you guys didn't see this, and this sounds, sounds reasonable for the Americans, I don't know if Aldi has this deal outside of the US. Probably not, because it's based on a US holiday, but Aldi has a deal, and they do this deal. They did it last year, but they're doing it this year. It is they call it Thanksgiving Feast for 10. And it is the ingredients to make a Thanksgiving meal for 10 people. So it's turkey and tons of sides and seasonings and everything. Last year it was $50 to feed 10 people. This year it's $40. You pay $40, there is a 15-pound turkey and all of the accompanying sides, like 10 pounds of potatoes, seasonings, gravy packets, like mac and cheese, like stuffing mix, like all this stuff, $40. That is a crazy good deal for all of that. Yeah, I recommend you look into it if you're like, you're feeling like everything's a bit too expensive. I mean, Aldi's a good store anyway, but it's a great place to look for Thanksgiving. We already had Thanksgiving, and there are only 2 of us. Yeah. Yeah, I just imagine, like, the few non-beef meats you can safely make medium rare is duck. Yeah, that's true. That's true. As like an individual, I would consider the Thanksgiving Feast for 10, mainly because, like, you can cook that turkey and you can freeze it. Potatoes you'll eat. A lot of the other stuff, it's like boxes that's like, non-perishable and everything, and it's got seasoning and like chicken broth that's in a box, will last a while and everything. So it's a lot of stuff that will keep. Yeah, you can make stock out of that, and then you can just freeze the meat if you're not gonna eat it all, or you just eat on it for a week or something. Like, you can do a lot of stuff with that, and for $40, it's a crazy good deal. I saw that and I felt the need to share that. I was like, I hope someone takes advantage of it. Yeah, there are only 4 dudes that completely cover this leg. 4 sculpts, or it's 1 sculpt, but repeated 4 times. Man, it seems like every other mini I'm painting. It's this one. Unfortunately, a lot of the stuff in the components I don't use. Yeah, my wife is allergic to a lot of the components too. Like, you know, she can't eat chicken or garlic or eggs or dairy. So that cuts out a lot of the items. And what's really nice about Aldi is if you have like food sensitivities or something like that, if you look on their website, they actually just show you the ingredient label on the back of all the products they sell. So so you can just look up what's in everything that you're buying. Be throwing out, yeah, you don't freeze food. We are really good about going through leftovers. So but yeah, so even stuff like the cornbread stuffing mix has chicken in it, so like we couldn't eat that. And the turkey has flavorings in the brine of the turkey, and a lot of times those flavorings are either chicken or butter flavorings, and so that might be a potential issue for us. So it'd be something I'd have to look into more on the turkey specifically, just because of the wording. I had to look up like the company and like ask the company that like makes the turkey. But yeah, it would not be as worth it for my family, but I also feel like there's people out there that would definitely take advantage of that. Chris Game, what's up? You live there's an Aldi, but not such an offer because we don't celebrate this holiday. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Yeah, and like I said, like it's a very U.S. thing, right? Do you happen to be in Germany, Chris? Or Canada? I don't know if Aldi's in Canada. I know Aldi's really big in Germany, because it's a German company, right? But yeah, German. Yeah, we'll welcome it. It's a good deal. Good deal for the Americans. Yeah, not everybody else is getting it, but turkey can be very delicious, and I love cooking turkey. Like, I really enjoy making Thanksgiving dinner. I look forward to it every year. Turkey is difficult to get right. You gotta put a lot of prep time into it. And you gotta be very diligent with it. But you're cooking a whole bird, right? It's not like a skill you just do once a year, and and that's it. Which is better, Aldi Nord or Aldi Sud? Aldi Sud is Trader Joe's in the U.S., right? I've been to a Trader Joe's once, and it was fine. It was fine. Aldi are everywhere though, where I am. Yeah. Yeah, Trader Joe's is like super random, isn't it? You only know Aldi Nord. Okay. You know what's funny about Trader Joe's and Aldi? Trader Joe's and Aldi have more organic food than just about any other grocery store, but they tend to be really good with their ingredients, and they're a good place to shop if you have like food sensitivities. Or allergies, because you can find a lot of good replacements for things. So no, Aldi's and Trader Joe's are both pretty good, but yeah, they have a lot of weird stuff. But does not currently have presence in Canada, and there are no public plans for expansion, though the German grocery chain has stores in the US and other countries. Include vast geography of Canada, need to build separate logistics, distribution. Okay, okay. No Aldi in Canada. I don't know, like, the German opinion of Aldi, but I know in the US, Aldi is probably the most employee-friendly grocery chain out there. They pay their employees well. Their employees can sit down during their shift, which is, it sounds silly to say out loud, but it's a legitimate thing that most grocery store employees, they don't have like chairs for them to sit. In Aldi, it's weird because the cashiers are all sitting while they're doing their work. And I know they pay well. Or at least they have paid well. I don't know how that is like post-pandemic and, you know, people demanding more fair wages and stuff. That kind of ripple effect happened, but like, man, all the employees, they work hard and they get to sit down and they get paid well. It's like, yeah, it's a German company. Yeah, one wanted to sell cigarettes, the other didn't. Yeah, trade at Aldi, and no, they're not worker friendly. Oh, okay, okay. German and American standards might be much different too, but that's too bad. Yeah, Aldi pays a lot better in the US than their competitors. Complain that being a cashier at a convenience store. Yeah, she complained about the cashier sitting down. I'm happy if the employee gets to chill a little bit. That she had to stand all the time. Oh, okay, okay. Hey, that's why we do things, right? We do things so the next generation has it better than we have it. If that means sitting down while working at the grocery store, I'm cool with that. There's a door with the cold air from winter. Oh, yeah, that's rough. Used to be a grocery store work at Target, and it's better than Target, yeah. Okay. Last one on this color, and I think I'm gonna do one more color today. We'll be pretty close to finishing these tomorrow. Like I said, I'm gonna try to assemble these Noise Marines tonight. I think that'll be my project this evening. Myself. And we'll try to get those primed soon so we can just jump right into those. But I got a bunch of terrain I want to paint, guys. We're gonna have a sweet looking Prospero board. And Zen's printing some more stuff for me like an absolute Chad. He's printing away. A cool like centerpiece terrain. All right, so we got that skin done. Skin is looking good and shredded. Well, let's get 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. What I want for these minis, that's a good color. Okay. Finish my Zone Mortalis board. Yeah, next month Zone Mortalis. We're gonna get some stuff going, man. We'll get people settled in. We're gonna start doing some. We gotta start doing some events and everything. I'm excited to play. It's just like, just trying to like manage everything for my week. I feel so busy every week. You, and then let's do this peach flesh. Heard Zone Mortality. Yeah. Next month. Into this month, we'll have Shattered Legion rules. So if that is something you're excited for, I'm looking forward to Shattered Legion rules. I think they'll be similar to 2nd edition. The 2nd edition ones were cool, but very complicated. I'm confident they'll do a good job with them. Breachers with Zone Mortalis. Yeah, Breachers would be great in Zone Mortalis. That's kind of their thing. I mean, I don't know if they're not. Yeah, they probably are better. I mean, Terminators are definitely like the preferable thing. But man, Breachers, do they look cool in Zone Mortalis? This mini is going to be a real test. I wonder if we can make these 2 flesh tones look different on my Ogryn. Yeah, man, they're being really slow with the releases for Heresy. I hope they have something big planned, like big announcement planned. Yeah, the good thing about the recent announcements for minis is, for the most part, there's been pretty quick turnaround. Aspen of Ocean, welcome in. How are you doing? Thank you for the raid. Welcome everybody. Someone that can give a shout out to Aspen of Ocean. Welcome. I'm doing great. Yeah, I'm just chilling, just painting some Emperor's Children, working on some highlights, and yeah, just chatting about random things. Aspen Norglish, welcome guys. I am the Painting Dad, and if you're not familiar with what I do, I just chill and paint minis. That is 99% of what I do. Sometimes I yell at clouds as an old man that complains about things, but for the most part,
First of all, let me take just
very chill stream. I do stream 6 days a week. I'm on every weekday from 11 a.m. Eastern Daylight to about 2 p.m. So that's what we do. Thank you for the follow, Aspen. I appreciate it. Very nice models. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, we're working through these, so getting to highlights here, trying to separate out some colors here. Can I get a different tone maybe? Mess around with the color. We got lots of metal highlights and black highlights and gray highlights to do, but we were working on the pink and some of these little like fleshy bits. How's your stream, Aspen? What were you working on? I assume you do some kind of hobby-based thing. Realize this guy doesn't have a nose. Kind of freaking me out. Yeah, new Terminators soon. I hope so. I hope the new 30K Terminators get updated. I do agree that I hope some of the like mortal factions get their stuff before more Space Marines. As much as I want new Space Marine stuff all the time. I hope like Solar Ox and Mechanicum get some new minis. Mechanicum will get a really good line infantry unit. That's what's going to happen. I have to walk my dogs now. Oh yeah, sure, no problem. Painted Chaos Dwarves. Oh, that's so cool. If you want to stick around for just a sec, you gotta let me know. Are they for the Old World or for Age of Sigmar? But either way, great stuff. That sounds awesome. Yeah, guys, go give Aspen a follow. Show him some love. You as well. You also have a wonderful week. Doing pretty well with the separating out these skin tones. Next, we're going to add, instead of adding ivory, we're going to add this pale pink. Like the gold emblems. Yeah, thanks. Thanks. So we want to keep that pink in this tone. We want to brighten it. Good color. We want to keep the pink in the flesh. You know, it shows that there's actually blood pumping through your skin, right? Chaos Tours brought me back to an old memory. Remember when the dude posted on Dakadaka about how Blue Table Painting scammed him from painting Forge World Chaos? Oh man, I don't remember that, Estrello. I used to be on Dakadaka all the time too. That is a hive of scum and villainy. Not quite 4chan level, but it is. That is one of the most like whiny places of the internet when it comes to any miniature related things. But no, I don't remember that specific thing. Would the guy just like take his army and run with it? Is that what happened? That's wild. Forge World Chaos Dwarves too. Like that's such an expensive army. It's crazy, but like that really is like a good reminder to me Not that I don't steal people's stuff, but also that, like, people send me minis to paint for them. They'll send me whole armies to paint for them at a time. Like, people are putting a lot of trust in me, to finish this stuff and to, not only do a good job, but just the fact of, like, returning the minis. So it's makes you feel a little happier that people are willing to trust me with that, right? But still a crazy thought. I don't know how you feel. Yeah, I'm kind of on the fence about the new Chaos Dwarf stuff too. I saw someone converting those minis to turn into like old world looking minis, and he was like swapping out the arms and stuff. And I think they were looking good. But yeah, it's definitely not. I was expecting more just like straight up fantasy analogs, like old world analog type minis, and they definitely went more of a Age of Sigmar route than I expected. When I remember, he paid $5 or $7 grand for it to be painted. They kept stringing him along and never sending the miniatures. That's wild. It was Duncan Rhodes that did a conversion. That's right, Moojuice. Yeah, Duncan Rhodes did the conversion. I don't mean to slight the man Duncan Rhodes. Just forgot. You would know if you never got him back. Yeah. How would you know? You're right. That's true. If he never posts about it again or something. But jeez, that is a lot of work for a whole army. Yeah. I feel like that's a lot of those like old world legacy factions anyway. It's got to be like the labor of love. You're going to be putting in a decent amount of work. Some pure pale pink here. Just a little highlight. Found the old thread from 10 years ago. So Matthew from Mini Wargaming's listed people with positive stories about them. Well, then what was the guy just like slandering him or something, or what? Like what was the end result? Why are furniture and mattresses so expensive? Yeah, stuff is expensive. I think Raja, they've always been expensive. It's just Americans got really addicted to cheap garbage that doesn't last. And it hits us extra hard when we're like, dang, like things are, and that cheap garbage is raising in price now, but I'm taking down the videos, so I think it's settled by lawyers. Well, good. Yeah. Dang, that's crazy, though. Yeah, it's hard to trust people on the internet, even when it's like stories like that. So, Miar Asnable, welcome. Best dwarven screen name on Twitch right there. Just these extra highlights here. Let's get this last guy. All right, we got some faces highlight. His. Guess it wasn't taken out. Oh dang, he's got. Okay, maybe it wasn't then. Oh man, you guys, I think we're gonna kind of call this stream there. We're gonna find someone to raid though. If that's cool with you guys. We're at a decent stopping point. I don't want to start any other big colors. Awkwardish Panda. We can go raid the Honest Wargamer again. Raid him once. Glorious Badger, Nero. McDuck is chilling. So we get for going outside. Yeah. I'm gonna walk my supervisor and come back. Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry, Dunder. Sorry. All right. Let's pick someone to raid here. Who we doing? Someone's here. We go. Okay. All right. We're just gonna pick somebody. We will raid Awkwardish Panda. How about that? I don't think we've raided Awkwardish Panda in quite some time. So we'll go say hi. And yeah, there we go. All right. So let's go say hi to Awkwardish Panda. And guys, you have a wonderful day. I will be on tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern. And yeah, we'll continue on with some Death Guards. So we're going to try to finish these guys up, or at least just about finish them up with some highlights. A lot of the big, like, difficult highlights are done. So we'll be doing that tomorrow. But I hope you all have a wonderful day. Thank you for all the raids, for the follows, for the subs. Very much appreciated. I just ask that you guys go, give a follow, say hi to Awkwardish Panda. I'm going to say hi to him as well. And yeah, we'll just show them that we're a good community and we support people. So you guys have a wonderful afternoon, and I will see you all tomorrow. Bye, everybody.